It's been fun to make, but a long haul, very long haul. I've spent more time on this game than any other in my entire career.
It's sort of in 3 phases. We kind of figure out what do we want to do, how do we make a game out of that, and then we make it fun and entertaining. We're also trying to come up with some very innovative things.
Hi, my name is Dwight Sullivan. I'm a lead software engineer for Stern Pinball. I'm currently working on the Game of Thrones project, which is pretty awesome.
I'm Steve Ritchie. I'm a game designer, and I'm the team leader of Game of Thrones Pinball.
There's 2 halves to every game. There's the pinball side, where it's mostly about how do I score, how do I start multi-ball, how do I start jackpot. And then there's the theme. The theme has to be well integrated into the pinball side for it to make a great game. And of course, we want to make great games.
In the past, I've worked pretty much on the same licenses over and over and over again for the last 17 years. Now that I'm here at Stern, I get to experience all these different genres. Game of Thrones is one of my favorite shows. This is great. I mean, who doesn't like a good dragon story?
People love it.
I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan.
Everybody everywhere knows about Game of Thrones. It's an awesome book, and then HBO made an awesome show.
It's like one of the most popular shows right now, and it's on a channel that you have to pay to watch.
It's a show with fantastic action and excitement.
Sweeping, huge battles.
Knights, swords.
It's got magic.
It's got dragons.
It's bloody.
Sex, violence, you name it, it is.
I think for the first time ever, we have one of the biggest differences between the Pro and the LE and the Premium.
The Pro is everything you want in a pinball machine, and then the LE just basically stacks on top of it one more level of gameplay.
Awesome Steve Ritchie shots.
It's got a dragon that flies and screams.
There's a dragon, I'll tell you that.
And flaps its wings, reacts to hits.
Originally, when we started designing the Dragon, it was for the LE. Then we decided to go for the Pro. We had a little more room to play with, so we changed up the design a little bit. That was a fun little mech to do.
HBO got us the dragon that was in the show so we could animate it and incorporate it into our videos. Probably one of the best dragons on any show. Actually being able to see it in person and manipulate it for our videos and have it do what we want it to do is like, I think is the coolest thing.
It's got a sword mechanism for multi-ball. It's kind of like a crossing gate. It's got a battering ram unit. You smash the ball into it and it smacks into a target.
Battering ram's pretty cool.
Mainly because if you hit it just right, it's rewarding, but it also sends the ball back at you. It's a risk-reward thing.
It's like breaking down castle doors.
You just kind of bang on the battering ram.
So I think the Pro is awesome.
Totally proud of it.
This is one of the coolest LEs we've ever done.
In addition to all of that, the LE has a large upper playfield.
An upper playfield that's pretty crazy.
That's huge, with 2 full-size flippers.
This playfield will have different playfield multipliers, 2x and a 3x. You're going to battle castles and houses and dragons and White Walkers all up here. And then there'll be game rules, reasons to go up here just during main play when you're not in a battle and you just want to do stuff. Usually another playfield has the short flippers. This has actual full-size flippers. I don't know if it's ever been done. I think it does make it challenging. It's advanced.
Stewie's Pinball was cool. In Family Guy, this is like twice that.
Like Star Trek, every single light is going to be able to be any color. We can make the whole playfield red when you get a jackpot. We can make the whole playfield green when you get a lock.
Is it convenient for you to fire off that extra ball effect?
Yeah.
This is very cool, and you want a movie of it.
Choose your house.
So what should I focus on? Just the playfield? Wow.
I'll do it again.
It has a nice elevator that brings the ball up to 2 different levels, either up to the upper playfield or off to the Iron Throne where you may visit or where you finally end up. That's the goal of the game, to reach the Iron Throne.
The ball actually goes down a ramp and into the throne, so you can sit your ball as King of Westeros.
This one has it all. It's like the Taj Mahal of pinball. And then we got some toppers in the works that will also add to that. I know I've ordered my machine.
It's spectacular, one-of-a-kind machine.
So we had to do a whole nother set of rules just for the LE, just for the Premium. I think that's a new thing. I think for the first time, the LE will get a multi-ball that the Pro doesn't have. I have a few favorite features. One of the things that my team and I did just recently is we added a reason to pick a different house at the beginning of the game. There's a power-up, if you will, different from house to house. So right off the bat, you're making a decision about what am I going to do, what's the path I'm going to take, how do I like to play this game.
You choose your house. The Targaryens are a family as well. They're the 7th family, but you can't play them. You always have to battle the Targaryens. In fact, we're making that more special than any of the other families.
One of the cool features I like is the pop bumpers kind of play a slot machine game where each pop bumper represents a tile on the slot machine. It makes it more than just leveling up your pop bumpers.
Another innovative thing that's been done only a couple times before, I'm calling Pictopops here, but it's going to have a more thematic name. Basically what it is each jet bumper is a different thing, and as you go, they change, and then when two of them are the same, they lock in, and then when you get all three, they give you that award. So that's kind of a fun thing. That's not just 13 more for this and 17 more for that and level 3.
I'm gonna say it's probably my dragon overseeing the battle.
I love battling the dragon. It's fun. It's also, kind of scary in terms of pinball scary, if there's such a thing.
Because who doesn't like a dragon on the playfield?
We have the Game of Thrones dragons here. There are going to be two. They're both driven with the same type of mechanism. Two spur gears driven by a cam. It originally started off with just a pair of wings being mounted on two linkages. Basically, as you see, the dragon is flapping because of the two spur gear linkages. There's basically your cam. Now, the Pro is different. The Pro will be driven by a solenoid from underneath, so the motion will be larger. The linkages will be similar with regard to the spur gear, but the action will be different. It's kind of similar to your car engine, the cylinder. This goes back to my previous experience as a gear engineer.
All right, your objective always is to try to reach the Iron Throne.
First of all, you pick a family, and I play the game by battling other families to try and get the Iron Throne. I would like to command the 7 kingdoms, and you also would love to be a megalomaniac and control the world from the Iron Throne. It's an adversarial game again, and I hate to say it, but I love them.
There's actually a bunch of overlapping rule sets.
So you can play each mode individually or play houses versus each other.
If they have overlapping missions, you can actually complete multiple things at the same time.
Pretend that these are color-coded. On the real artwork, each of these has a color around them. Shoot orange to light orange and shoot red to light red. So that's 1, 2 more to light house. If you shoot the dragon, that's the Targaryens, of course. 2 more to light Targaryens. 1 more. Targaryens are lit. Lannisters are lit. This is one of the things that's sort of innovative. You light modes, and then you can pick which one you want to play. Like you can say, I want to battle the Lannisters, I want to battle the Baratheons, or I can battle the Targaryens and the Lannisters together. Or you can pass. That's another innovative thing that we're going to do. Like, I don't want to play any mode right now because I want to stack them with multi-ball, or I want to put a different set together because that makes sense in what I want to do strategically in the game. All of that's kind of advanced. You don't need to know any strategies to actually have fun, but we're wanting to have the strategies there. There are ways to collect scores, and there's ways to build those scores up and make them gigantic. What I want is people out there debating, no, if you pick Lannisters and then you battle with the Greyjoys and the Martells together during Blackwater multi-ball, that's the way to go. And I want 5 guys to disagree with him, and if I ever see that conversation, I've succeeded.
We try to make games so that the lower level player, the middle level player, and the high end player all have things to do. So I want 2 things. They had fun.
I always hope that a player has fun. He has to have fun.
I hope they get a good amount of fun from the pinball aspect, but also get an idea of what Game of Thrones is like.
And they should, especially with everything that we're doing.
It's action-packed. Games need to supply entertainment to enthusiasts who buy them. I want to make sure that the game is jam-packed with fun, great experiences, memorable things that happen, and challenges that, well, if you don't make it all the way, you just go, I have to get that. I'm going to keep trying.
They can't wait to play again. There's always one more thing you didn't do, you need to come back and do, you need to play again.
There's nowhere in the game where the ball is just not doing anything. You're always hitting something, collecting gold, going up a ramp, doing something, so it's fun.
I think they'll have a lot of fun. I think just the playfield itself, like if we had no rules, I think people would still like it because there's so much on this playfield. It's incredible.
The thing I really like about this, it's easy for somebody to walk up and start playing, and then the deeper you get into it, the more gameplay you'll get out of it. It's one of those games that will suck you in and you'll keep coming back to it.
I think this has potential. It has more potential than any game I've ever worked on. It has an A license, right? The show is awesome. Everybody loves it. And then pinball-wise, it's got a layout that's classic. It's got lots of flow. And then we're trying some pretty innovative stuff, only a couple of which I've showed you. I think it's pretty awesome.
What character would I be?
Which is a slightly different question than what's my favorite character.
Oh man.
Wow.
Jon Snow, of course. He does have a tough life, but what a challenge.
It would have been Jon Snow if he hadn't got killed. Hopefully he'll come back as maybe a wolf or maybe as a zombie.
I think I wouldn't mind being Joffrey just because he's so mean. I would love to be that mean. Hodor. Actually, no, I take back because I hate Bran. I'm gonna go with Tywin. I like him.
I would say I want to be an ice spider, but I have not seen those yet. I've heard tale of them. I would probably be the Ice King, man. Who wouldn't want to raise the dead. That one scene in that show was awesome. He's like, I'm at your docks raising your dead, you know? What are you going to do about it?
I think I would be Tyrion, because I'm not a fighter, I'm a thinker, and I like manipulating things behind the scenes. One of my favorite characters, though, is Arya. I relate to her, too.
I think hands down Arya is my favorite character. Anytime you got like a 13-year-old girl sticking people with swords, thumbs up. She's like a stealthy medieval ninja. Oh, sir, would you like to buy some oysters? Stick, stick.
What family do I relate to most?
Oh God, they're all dysfunctional. It's a lot like my family.
All right, so the Lannisters are corrupt and evil.
Lannisters are just creepy.
Lannister, maybe because of Tyrion.
Boltons are even creepier.
And the Greyjoys are just bad. Nobody wants to be the Greyjoys.
The Greyjoys are pretty creepy. We had to go through there and try to find something that represented the Greyjoys. It was tough.
And the Starks keep getting beheaded.
I would have to say I would align with the Starks, but they seem to die at a crazy rate.
The Baratheons can't win a fight, but the Martells, they've been sitting back and they've been biding their time. They've got their own strong beliefs and worldviews, and I think I can relate to that.
The Cleganes, of course. They're the most brutal, weird, nasty people on Earth.
I guess probably the Starks.
I guess I'd have to stay with the Starks. They're about the only ones with a moral compass that's still true, which is also part of their downfall.
I guess it would be the Starks. Got a very regal, noble background, and they're fighting back.
Possibly the Starks.
My for realsies last name is Stark, so I kind of have to go with Stark. But at the same time, I don't want to die. That's a problem.